right, well today I want to add some long overdue organization to our kitchen. I want to try out some gadgets from Amazon, see if it's worth the money. Well, hi, I'm Dawn from The Minimal Mom. If we haven't met before, I'm married to Tom and we have 4 kids, ages 7 through 12. And we love sharing about family minimalism. And what I have found about organizing is that you have to declutter first. You have to lower the inventory, and that is the only way that organization systems work and that we're able to maintain them. And so like I said, this organization in our kitchen is long overdue. We've lived in this house for over 5 years now. And while I have decluttered, I've lowered the inventory, which really makes my kitchen more enjoyable to be in and easy to maintain. I have hesitated to put in place some of the fancier, more traditional organizing pieces. I think because, see, for those of you who are naturally organized, you don't understand, because you just see a space and you're like, let's organize it. Let's add in some of these cool things, you know? But for those of us who are reformed, messy people, in the past, when I would put in organization, hoping that it was gonna solve my clutter problem, it never lasted, it never worked, and it ended up just being a reminder to me of the money I've wasted and how I still can't keep our house under control no matter how hard I try. And so, of course, as we've talked about, it wasn't until I really reduced the inventory that now my organization systems stay in place, and I've built trust with myself now over the years that I feel like we could put some of these fancier things in place now too, put some like more permanent organization in place, and I really trust that I can pick out the right pieces, but more importantly, that I can maintain it. All right, so I decided to get started in the drawers in our island. So I have always just used like dollar store things for these drawers. It's good because it let me test out what I wanted to keep and what kind of organization that I would want to put in more permanently. The problem is these plastic bins from the dollar store weren't quite long enough for all of our utensils, and they slid around in the drawer. So I was ready to add something that's a little prettier, a little more permanent. And so I'd seen on Amazon these bamboo adjustable dividers, and so I definitely wanted to give them a try. So we pulled everything out, and you do have to assemble these, but they were super easy to put together. And I got an 8-pack not knowing exactly how many that we were gonna need. And so we ended up using 4 on this top drawer, basically just to make the different dividers for the different areas that we have in here. Now, one other thing that I had gotten a little while back is a knife block that goes in the drawer, and I love this. So if you wanna get your knife block off of the counter, this is a great solution. Now, we've pared down how many knives we keep. We don't actually keep that many, and it's fine. So I think this one holds 1, 2, 3, 4. This one would hold 9. So still a good number of knives, but it has rubber grippers. It doesn't slide around. I really like how this functions inside the drawer. So I knew I wanted to keep that in there, keep a spot for that. And a long time ago, I had gotten this flat napkin holder off of, it was on Amazon too, but it's no longer available. But I liked that the napkins sit in like this, and it used to sit on the counter, but we've since moved it into the drawer, and it works great in there. And so once we got all the bamboo dividers in place, then we just added a couple little bins from Target. I like these like rubbery bins from Target. They stay in place. They kind of form to fit the space that you have for them as well. And so I think this looks really nice now. To me, it feels like an adult drawer. So I like how the bamboo dividers blend in with the color of the drawer. It looks a little more classy, I think. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. All right, then we had our silverware drawer, which we had this white plastic divider thing in there, which was fine. But again, it didn't look super classy. It didn't fill up the space, and stuff would kind of slide underneath it on the side. And so I got this expandable silverware holder on Amazon. It can go much wider. I didn't measure the drawer. I was just ordering in steps. So it doesn't necessarily need to really expand. It pretty much fills up the drawer, but it is nice that it expands to fit the space. So now nothing will slide down alongside of it. And I think it just looks really nice. Is it a necessity? Does it really function much better? It doesn't make a huge difference other than aesthetic, but I do think it looks really nice. All right, now this guy. This was the piece I was most excited by, but most frustrated by when I actually opened it up. I had seen it on Instagram, And I thought that's actually kind of a cool way to organize all of your plastic bags and not have all the boxes floating around like we used to in our center drawer, a lower drawer with the snacks. And I'm like, I just thought this was kind of cool. It was kind of expensive also. But when I opened it up, I was like, oh no, this is gigantic. And so I had originally thought we could put it in our center drawer that we just showed with the napkins and everything. And I'm like, it became quite obvious that wasn't going to fit in there. But I did wonder if we could fit it into our junk drawer or our utility drawer. So I asked Gage what he thought, and what'd you say, buddy?
I liked it.
You liked it. He really liked it, so we decided to make it fit. And I have to say, we don't use a ton of plastic bags anymore because the kids don't pack lunches, and we're trying to use more sustainable things, but there are times when you need a plastic bag. It functions so well. This is 100 baggies in here. I can't believe how many it holds. That's probably why it's so big, right? You can fit a ton, and the organization is actually really nice. So I was okay sacrificing a little bit of space in our junk drawer for this. And then again, we use the little bins from Target to put around it and to fit in around it. But I think we'll have no problem. That drawer just collects extra stuff, right? Whatever the size of your utility drawer is, that's how much stuff you're gonna keep in there, right? So I'm totally fine having a little bit less room, a storage for random stuff, and freeing up some space for this guy. So another drawer that wasn't functioning well, and then I do want to show you our spice cabinet, was where we kept our tea and coffee. And this, again, it was fine. Like when the boxes are in there with the tea, it's fine, but it didn't feel organized or very nice. And so I actually saw two different types of tea bag holders that were kind of intriguing. One was the more traditional style where they are just kind of sitting flat and you put them in there. And then there was this, which is newer, which this would work well for vertical storage or if you're putting it onto a shelf. So we have a drawer, so I didn't think this would work as well, but the little things for the tea actually detach and come off too. And it's just like this little caddy for tea. So it gets really good views. I actually thought this was really cool and a cool way to store your tea. But again, we were putting it in a drawer. So the bamboo one with the clear lid, I think fits in this drawer and works really well. And you can put a whole box of tea in each of these spots, which is great. And if we had company coming over and I wanted to serve tea, it looks nice to take the whole thing out. Now, I'm not a visual organizer. I like stuff out of sight. So if this were gonna be sitting out all the time, I wouldn't want the clear lid. But with it being in the drawer, it's really easy to see them and then get it out. And so I think this looks so nice now, and not having all the boxes in there, it just feels so much nicer when we open this drawer. And then I put Tom's coffee pods to the side and some extra in the back. I'm still doing the pour over coffee with this. I'll link to this down below. I love it. I could not go back to Keurig coffee now. I couldn't. Like, I really like the pour over coffee. This is inexpensive. It works really well. So that's what I do now, but we keep his coffee pods in there. I have not converted him to that, nor do I think I will be successful in doing so, and that's totally fine. Okay, then the spice cabinet. How I've made it this long without putting organization in there? Well, like I said, I've failed a lot in the past, so that's why. So we definitely needed to add some organization to the spice cabinet. So this bottom shelf has bothered me for quite a while because you always have to pull stuff out to see what's in there. So there's kind of like a few traditional solutions, I think, when it comes to spices. You can get these like risers, and I obviously got one that was way too wide for this space. So that's not actually gonna work. I'd have to get a different one. Have you seen this? I saw this on Instagram that someone was using it. It like expands to fit the space. So I think if you had a wider spice cabinet and very uniform sizes of spices, I think this actually could work really well, and it'd be really easy to see everything that you have and to really maximize the space. But I think for our cabinet here, I don't think we have enough width. So then I think the solution we need is the Lazy Susan. And I like that this one has a spot in the middle to put taller stuff. And I kind of like how it has like a flat front. So I feel like that will maximize the space. So it looks like there's some assembly required. So I'm gonna put this together real quick, and then we're gonna put these on there and see how this works. I just pulled this out of the box, and I think this might be too wide too. Oh. Ooh, I don't know, it might just fit. I think I'm gonna have to pull everything out and see. Well, if it fits, it's gonna like really maximize the space in there. So I'm gonna put it together real quick and I guess we'll just see. Okay, I have it all put together now. The good thing is it feels very sturdy. So that's good for quality wise. I'm gonna put these back on. I'm gonna put all this size. I'm gonna put the ones we use the most towards the front. I'm seeing now we have like a duplicate here. So I'm gonna I usually put duplicates up here of things. So I'm gonna put that up there. Chili powder. Yep, definitely have 2 chili powders open. I wonder which one. Ooh, November of 2019. Wow, July 2019. Wow, we must not use chili powder that much. I'm just gonna keep one of these and let the other one go. So, I mean, you only use like a little bit of chili powder when you use it, right? Cayenne pepper. No, this one's too tall for it. That is a bummer. Okay, I'm gonna see if the short ones, this is not working out how I'd hoped. So these kinds of short ones will fit on the top, but not like these. I could move this shelf up, which is probably what I'm gonna end up doing. This I like as a small basket that I can like reach down really easily. This is kind of frustrating me. One other thing I'm realizing is that these spices that I have in these bags are like 7 years old. I got them when we lived in our townhouse. So I think all of these need to go. It's amazing how fast time flies and spices expire. So I'm gonna let those go. Okay. This is why I don't organize. This turned into a whole bigger deal. I finally got the little tabs moved up. Okay, good. So we have plenty of room here now for the upper level of spices, but I don't know if my basket's gonna fit. Oh, it still fits. What do you know? Okay. I also found another duplicate in here and a couple other things that I just don't even like, so I'm gonna toss them now. Generally what I do is, we don't use these spices as frequently, so that's why I have those up here. And then this shelf way up here is where I store extras of things. So I'm just gonna straighten this up a little bit, and I think actually this is gonna work really well. So, okay, so here we have it. Like I said, it doesn't spin super well right now because it's hitting this lip on here, but I'm gonna have Tom cut just like a thin board that I can put underneath there that's like the full size of this cabinet, and it'll spin better. But the middle does spin as well. So that's actually kind of nice too, that you can see what's in there. So I think that'll work well. It does feel better, like just having some kind of organization in there. I think it's a lot easier to see what we have and grab it. But it doesn't maximize the space. Like this didn't necessarily give me more space. I took a few things out. So I like that though. I don't want to try and like cram and keep every single spice or whatever, because a lot of them were already expired. And so I'm okay with having it be a little bit limiting so that I don't just keep everything forever and ever. So I think that this actually works pretty good. Okay, another thing I've seen for kitchen organization is these water bottle holders. We don't do a ton of water bottles. We're still more likely to use these lids that go on top of mason jars. And if you can find these narrow ones, they actually fit in cup holders. They are, I don't even know what size they are, 18 ounces. When I bought them, they're meant for like canning like asparagus or green beans, so things that are tall, but I got them a long time ago and I know it's harder to find jars now. Anyways, but I had wondered about using one of these for some of our water bottles and coffee mugs, because this shelf is actually kind of hard for me to reach, being a little bit on the shorter size. So I'm just gonna put this together quick and try it out, and we'll see if we think that it's worth the space. It doesn't like save space, it's just meant to keep them more organized so you can see the before and then the after. So we'll see if that's actually the case or not. And then you can actually choose the height that you want for this second level here. So we might be able to just put it on the lowest level, I guess. Definitely gets a good grade for ease of putting together. Okay, super simple. And then we can put these on. I don't know. I don't know if that feels worthwhile or not. What do you think? Tom just walked away.
I don't think that adds any space. I think that takes away.
It does not add space for sure. But we don't necessarily want to try and keep everything in this space either. I think if you have a lot of water bottles, we don't have a lot of water bottles. The nice thing, it's actually easier for me to grab stuff off this way, but right. I agree, it doesn't maximize the space in any kind of way.
Yeah, I think the other way that we do it is I hand them to you with the lid.
Yeah, right.
So
you're not always there. Every
time you just come find me and I'll get it for you.
So not sure on that one. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's okay. They don't all have to be winners. All right. Okay, so this drawer has always bothered me because it's like our bread chip, that kind of drawer. But then we also keep like the extra like parchment paper and that kind of stuff in there. And I had gotten, so this is a rack that can go on the back side of a cabinet door. So I wanted to put it on this cabinet door to hold the tin foil and that kind of stuff, although it is too wide because again, I did not measure. So this was too wide, so I would have to get a smaller one. But then I was thinking that I have some of these left over from this drawer. So I think I can put these in here and that will hold a little section for the tin foil and stuff. And I'm actually gonna do it too high so that I don't have to worry about them actually like falling out of here. So I'm gonna put this one in too. And then I have like a section now for that stuff, which actually works really well. So I'm gonna put the rest of the stuff back in here and I think this is gonna function much better. Something else I got but Tom vetoed was this plastic bag holder. We just have our plastic bags in a drawer and I don't think it's fine. Like we have the space, so it's fine, but I think having something like this would be much nicer. I don't like necessarily the ones with the holes in it where you can see all the bags poking through. So I just kind of liked how sleek this was, but this will be getting returned and that's totally fine. Okay, so I told Tom with the water bottle holder, I was like, let's just leave it there and try it out for a little while. I really like it in there. It's so much easier for me to grab the travel mugs down, which I use on pretty much a daily basis. I always put my midday coffee in a travel mug so it stays warmer longer. And so it's so much easier for me to get it down. It does not maximize the space. So if you're looking to maximize space, it does not do that, but I just like how it keeps them all lined up and organized. So I don't know if we're gonna keep that or not. We might have to just let it sit in there for another couple days and then we'll make a final decision on it. So overall, I think most of these things were successful and it just feels good. It's always good to make a pass through to declutter and organize and straighten things up again. And I really like the limits that all of these organizational things put in place, that you just can't keep more than what fits in it. And I like that. My brain likes that too. So of course, I'll link to all of these down below, but I would love to know, are there any like kitchen gadgets when it comes to organizing that you love and that you couldn't live without? If you'd share that down below, it's always so fun to hear. And we actually have a video of our whole organized house tour, including the rest of our kitchen that we didn't show, so I can link to that as well. And I should probably mention too, I think it's so helpful to know your organizing style. So if you haven't taken the Clutterbug quiz to find that out, that has given me so much confidence when it comes to organizing, knowing that I'm a ladybug. I'm non-visual and macro categories. So really with the tea bag organizer, that's like as micro as I like to go. Otherwise, just give me some big categories, big slots, one Lazy Susan for spices, and I'm totally good with that. So that's been really helpful for me to have more confidence in organizing as well. So I can link to Cass's website for that too. But otherwise, I love you. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.